views expressed on this program are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, or other advertisers. You're listening to Transformation Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome. This is Dr. John DeMartini. This is one of the most amazing and inspiring shows that you can listen into. If you want to be on the edge of your seats, if you want to open up your heart, if you want to expand your mind, and you want to meet incredible people, stay tuned because you're just about to experience a transformative radio show that will change your life. And you're listening to the Dr. Pat Show that's coming up right next.
The following audio is via a Skype call.
Welcome to the Dr. Pat Show. Talk radio to thrive by. Powerful, inspiring, and coming to you live, bringing you stories of people like you and me, busting through and living life full out. Get ready to dare to wonder what your life would be like if you knew you could not fail. Wow, everyone. Welcome. It is so great to be connecting with all of you. Thank you all for tuning us in and turning us on. And, you know, I got just a beautiful, beautiful email over the weekend from a listener in, I think it's Belarus. And I was just sitting and just thinking, I mean, every once in a while I have one of these pinch me moments and, you know, remember my life growing up in the Bronx and remembering, you know, the fact that I was this kid and I thought, you know, the kind of connections I would make in life would be like me connecting with somebody from Pelham Bay, which is like in New York. So, Benny, it's like the equivalent of somebody in Seattle saying hi to somebody in Kent.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Close proximity.
Yeah, it's that proximity. And exactly. And then to just be able to get an email from someone reminds me of two things. The first thing it reminds me of, you know, how humble and how humbling this job is and what we do. And never taking for granted the people that are around the world that somehow through the amazing technology that we've been able to experience here and the vision of the team and putting technology together that allows us to do this. It's just beautiful, beautiful to me about how this works. And so, yeah, we are going to be sending our listeners something very special from the show, which is great. And, you know, this is really what this is all about. It's how do we come together to help each other so we can live a truly epic life. I mean, there's nothing short of magnificent that we are all meant to be doing. And thanks to people like Mark Rayner joining me here today. And he and I were just chit-chatting. And I am blown away. I remember talking to Mark, wow, it seems like yesterday. And this is what I love and what I'm going to share about him. It seems like yesterday I was talking to Mark about his life, about what he wanted to create, his vision, about how he wanted to help other people. And he is someone, you know, you guys have heard this before. He's somebody that isn't just out here talking about what it means to live the vision, the dream of your life. He is acting it through. He is acting it through. And as a result of that, and in looking back at conversations he and I had, we have the Rayner Institute. And what is that all about? I got to spend some time looking at what Mark has created and truly see his passion and purpose come alive. You know, and so today I am so thrilled we're talking about what we're talking about because, you know, for somebody like me to watch somebody like Mark, it inspires me to say to all of you, remember the question, what would you do if you knew you could not fail? Well, I'm telling you that question's still alive, but I want to tell you, what would you do? You figure it out and you get Mark's help, because that's what I've watched him do. Go from this dedicated dad, this individual that so believed in helping people across the world, to now creating the top coaching institute in the world, internationally coach federated, approved. It's a fabulous class. I know people that have graduated from there and are now on radio and doing their thing, writing books. And I'm telling you that the time is now. Today, getting your hands on the controls of your life. Absolutely. Absolutely. Why is this a great topic with Mark? I'm a little fired up today, Mark. I'm a little fired up today.
You are.
And this is a great topic because I've watched Mark do it. This is not a guy, okay, that just said, oh, I think I'm going to do this. I cannot believe, Mark, what you have created in such a short period of time. Congratulations to you, and thank you for not giving up the ship.
Oh, thank you. Well, thank you for the intro. That was fantastic. Oh, well, the ship. You know, we can talk about the ship.
Let's talk about the ship. Let's talk about it. Because I don't know about your boat. My boat's had a couple of cracks and leaks in it from time to time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
But you and I are here today, so that must mean we did not go down with the ship, did we?
We didn't go down with the ship, and we had leaks. You know, me as well. You know, there was times when I got to tell you I was in some heavy storms, and there's some times when I hit the odd sandbar with my ship. But sometimes you have to back up off the sandbar and go around.
Yeah, but, I love that. I love that.
You know, Pat, I think that this ties nicely into a direction.
Yeah.
You know, we want to go from point A to point B. We set a goal. We set an intent. We set out to do something. And you know, it's interesting. It's like a ship or an airplane. Is it takes off from point A and lands in point B, or you know, cruises to point B, and it's off track. You know, it's off target, off course 99% of the time. And somehow, with that focus, that dedicated focus, it does get to the destination. And life happens. Winds blow, seas come up, things set us back. We get up and say, okay, well, we're going to keep going. We're going to keep moving forward. And that ties nicely into getting our hands on the controls of life. There are times in our life where, well, in my life, I'll speak from personal experiences, that it's like, geez, I feel like I want to go this way, and why am I going the opposite? What's going on? Why is my life turning out, and sometimes a polar opposite of what I'm trying to achieve in my life, or the direction I'm trying to go? And it was a puzzling thing for me for many years as to why some people succeeded and seemed to get through life fairly easily, and other people seem to really struggle. And it turns out that it's just this big Ferris wheel. It just comes around, and things start going good, and you're like, oh, hang on, here we go. It's going to get bad. And there's setback after setback, and so that's what drove me to wanting to develop the Rayner Institute, is to have a school where people can have a direction in their lives. They can figure out where they are. The school is not so much about here's what you need to do. It's more about figuring out yourself and what you believe at a subconscious level, and what's really driving your boat. What's really steering your ship. Because a lot of times we feel like it doesn't matter what we read or what courses we go to, Pat, we end up somehow still back in the same square.
Yeah.
And life still seems to be difficult, or the breaks aren't coming, or the insights, or people are still treating us the same way. And you go, I thought I had this. I was at a course for all weekend, and by Thursday it's all back to the way it was.
Right.
And so what is that? And for me, I dove deep into it, and I was relentless. I wouldn't give up, because I figured there's too many amazing people in this world that deserve to have the life of their dreams. I'm not just saying that. I've had, we're all over the world now in our school, and the emails that we get from people are unsolicited, and they just out of the blue, they They send amazing, amazing emails to the school and just saying, I got my life back. I got my hands on the controls, like you said. My life is different. I'm steering my ship versus being blown all over the place in life.
Mm-hmm.
And we actually use, it's interesting, you and I didn't talk about this, but we do use a ship as an analogy in the school. And the conscious mind we look at like the bridge, where all the controls are, and here's where we're wanting to go, and we have to yell back our commands down to the engine room where there's no windows, and all the engine room it's like our subconscious mind, and it's saying to us, no, last time we did that course, it wasn't safe. We ran into a storm, or we just about sunk, or we hit a sandbar. And so really what we're doing in the school is helping the students understand what it is that's in that journey log down in the engine room, and understand what it is that they're doing and not doing in their lives to stay safe. And that means don't leave the harbor. That means don't come into the harbor. That means a lot of things. And we are designed, our monkey brain, our instincts, we're designed to be safe. And if a loving relationship isn't safe, we won't have one. We will do everything we can when we get close to it. We'll sabotage it. We'll hang out with people that aren't good for us. Same with finances. If we're in huge debt and we're struggling financially and we get ahead and we get our debt paid off and then boom, we're in debt again, what is that?
Mm-hmm.
I call it the thermostat. And we have thermostats, Pat. And our thermostat is our thermostat is set for relationships, our thermostat is set for finances. And if our finances fall below, we'll bring it up. If our finances are above, we'll bring them back down. And I know it sounds crazy. I know it's like it doesn't make sense, because consciously we want the life of our dreams, and subconsciously, which is, hate to say this, is basically running the ship. It's controlling everything. Heartbeat, temperature. It's running everything, and it can even cause injuries, and it can cause sickness, a cold, to prevent someone from doing something they don't want to do, or the flu, or we can really sabotage ourselves to avoid what we think is unsafe. And
I so love this conversation with you, Mark. Oh my gosh, this is so absolutely great. For those of you out there, I want to just make sure we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to be talking about the script. What is the script? What are we carrying around? It's hard to get your hands on the controls of your life if you're not even sure, first of all, where the controls are. We're going to start at basics here. And when we come back, Mark's going to talk a bit about, how to change our life script. How do we change that? And, this is really one of the most fun conversations I love to have. And I could not think of a better person to have it with than Mark Rayner. I really could not. This is so cool today. And it's so perfect because you know what? I'm human. I have a few scripts running. I've got a few tapes running, even though we don't use tapes anymore. We're going to take a short break and we come back more with Mark Rayner, getting your hands on the controls. And here's what I want to say to everyone out there. If you have a question, oh my goodness, please take this opportunity to get some suggestions from one of the best in the world. I love saying that. One of the best in the world. 1-800-930-2819. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, what is the script that you have for yourself? Do you think maybe you're too heavy? You're too thin? Do you think maybe you're not smart? You think maybe you're too smart? What is it you think's going on in your mind? When we come back, that and much more, we're going to tell you about what Mark has, how you too can have what he's talking about. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Young Money, Nicki Minaj, Justin. Show you off. Tonight I wanna show you off.
Tune Tune in to The Jen Royster Show, intuitive guidance to inspire your life, each Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific and 11 a.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com. This amazing show is an inspirational hour that will take you on an epic metaphysical journey to discover the spiritual approach to life's greatest challenges. Dr. Jen is an internationally known intuitive counselor, spiritual teacher, and energy healer. Call in for intuitive readings and visit JenRoyster.com for more information.
Would you like to be a question with anything that comes up in your body or mind? Would you like to become totally aware and begin to function as the conscious being you truly are? Join Access Certified Facilitator Glenna Rice every month for a live teleclass where you can ask all of your questions and learn to create change in any aspect of your life. Visit GlennaRice.com today to learn more and don't miss the next call. Join the questionable conversation today at GlennaRice.com.
Sky Siegel co-hosts one of today's most popular psychic shows, Angels and Answers, with Artie Hoffman, as she communicates healing messages from the spirit world. These messages can be astounding, enlightening, and life-changing. Born with the God-given talent of inner guidance and the amazing ability to heal, Sky has healed thousands of people. Schedule a reading with Sky now. Call 908-500-1474 and visit skyofangels.com.
On the cutting edge of the new mainstream, Christine Upchurch is passionate about bringing together science, psychology, and spirituality in a way that can be applied to our everyday lives for true transformation. The Christine Upchurch Show. Stellar conversations to illuminate your journey. Engages some of the most outstanding visionaries on the planet in lively dialogue to inspire you to become that bright light you're meant to be. Join Christine every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Time on KKNW, AM 1150, and Transformation Talk Radio.
Naturopathic doctor, founder of the Martha's Vineyard Holistic Retreat, and author of the New York Times bestseller 21 Pounds in 21 Days, Dr. Ronnie DeLuce has helped tens of thousands of people, including celebrities and athletes, with her message of lifestyle change. Now Dr. Ronnie DeLuce wants to help you. You too can be saved. Email Dr. Ronnie DeLuce at info@ronniedeluceonradio.com and visit mtheholisticretreat.com. Dr. Ronnie DeLuce, your partner in wellness.
How would you like increased health and vitality? How would you like to avoid the onset of disease as well as slow the aging process? This is all possible through a simple, safe, and natural process. Every day we are either moving toward wellness or away from wellness.
Hi, I'm Mary Jane Mack. I'd like to be your partner in achieving optimal health. Contact me now at maryjanemack.com or call 425-392-0659. Visit maryjanemack.com.
Wow, everybody, welcome back. I am so thrilled to have Mark Rayner joining me here today. You know, this is really kind of the topic that I think many of us think about having with ourselves or maybe with another, but rarely do. And it's getting your hands on the controls of your life. And I love this topic because many, many times we get advice from people to just live and let go. And, you know, I don't think that living and let go without understanding that you get to actually do some guiding and directing is the way success is built. And what Mark has been able to do is create a school that not only helps you discover your best self, but then teaches you how to help others do that. Mark, let's take a minute before we jump into that script conversation. Take a minute, tell folks the best way to find out more about the Institute and more about this certified coaching program you have.
I'd love to. Thank you. Well, the Rayner Institute is a school that we started 2 years ago. We're coming into our third year now, and it's www.Rayner, R-A-Y-N-E-R, institute.com. And we are now in 4 continents, and we're just working on our 5th continent in 2 years. And what we're doing is we're working from a vision that we had, and the vision was that we wanted people to know what it felt like to be safe. And speaking from personal experiences, you know, probably since the age of 2 till probably 3 years ago, I lived in fear. I lived in perpetual fear. my life, fear of not being enough, not being a good father, and I really didn't have anything to be scared of. But once I started to dive into the psychology and the neurology of the brain and how it works and why I was stuck in fear, the vision of the school is our goal, because a vision includes everyone. Our vision for the school was for people to know what it feels like, maybe for the first time, what it feels like to be safe. And then we talk about what does safe make available? Well, you're more creative, you're a better problem solver, you do things more that you want to do, and you're not in a dominant role and you're not in a submissive role. You're in what we call an okay state or a self-actualized state. And it takes energy, which we discovered neurologically. It takes energy to be in a dominant role. It takes energy to be in a submissive role in your relationships. And that includes relationships with yourself. So we created the school. People can come in. It's interactive training. And this isn't a school where you come in and you say, well, you learn this and you read this and you study this and memorize this and then you go away. It doesn't work like that. What you do is you come into the school and you learn the material, and then we explore. And you ask questions. And what about? And how come? And then we challenge and tell me more. And then tell me more. And they get down to the heart, the root of a belief that's controlling their life. And we say, that's a limiting belief. Well, our theory is that every belief you have is limiting, even the ones that said you're a great person. That's all you are. So a belief, Pat, has a boundary, and a belief exists from truth. And so when we understand what we believe, we take a look at the truth around it, then we start to dissolve, we uncover the falseness around the belief, and the belief naturally dissolves. Now, it's not something you can do alone, and I'm not just saying that, but you need help in identifying what it is you believe. And once you start to dissolve that, then life starts to change. The way you look at things, the way foods taste are different. You will see things in your life that you didn't realize were there. The blessings, your gratitude goes up, your criticisms go down. You understand that when you're talking about other people, really you're saying, I'm not okay. When you're critical of others, you're really understanding, you're saying, I'm not okay. I'm scared. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm jealous. I'm scared. I'm not okay. And we want to blame. And when we're blaming, we're not moving forward. We're stuck. We're just going back and forth in life. And so with the school, it's no kidding, life-changing. And it's a very organic program. It's an organic coaching model that you can coach anyone, anytime. But it's about real lasting change, and it's not, we didn't want to do hocus pocus, and we definitely didn't want to sell hope. Well, I sure hope this works, and I hope this, and I hope that. It's real solid science that goes behind coaching conversation. And we also included mentoring. What's it like to be a mentor? How to share your wisdom with others? What does that look like? And so it's making a big difference. We have people now having their own health clinics, people that are, like you said, a radio program, writing books. We have people from all over the world that are changing their lives, Australia, Hungary, Greece, all over the place, all over the world that are committed to the school and are saying, hey, let's keep this thing going. And how do we get involved with the school? So we're growing, and we're not advertising, and we need to start sharing our message with the world, and this is an attempt to do that. And in doing that is I want to help the listeners and give them a chance to understand maybe what they believe and why sometimes we're just on autopilot going nowhere.
Well, and being on autopilot going nowhere, we look around, and one of the things I hear more than anything, which we'll talk about when we come back, is actually how confused people are. I don't know if you've heard this or not, but how confused people seem to be, and how we're looking for our life purpose. And part of this is really looking at what we discover in life, looking at how we can learn and who we learn from. It's not always learning from the mentor or the guru. Sometimes life lessons come to us in many ways, don't they?
They do, yeah. Well, we said after the break, we said we wanted to talk a little bit about the scripts and that type of thing. But if we just before the break look at the square we're on, if we just say, let's just start at the first point of this, Pat, because I like to start with truths. I like to start with the fundamentals. Now, you and the listeners, let's just start with this, that our past affects us. That's a fundamental truth. Another fundamental truth is that which we don't accept. When we don't accept what is, we suffer. It's like gravity. You drop a pen, it's going to fall. But the reality, the fundamental truth, you can look at chimpanzees, you can look at elephants, you can look at any of the animals, dogs and cats. If they've been abused, they act differently. And we almost say they're damaged. Well, human beings have this too. They could go through life and a parent could say, you know, you'll never make anything of your life. And that could, what that child makes that mean affects their life. And even children that are, you know, let's say they get the smartest kid in grade 5 award, well, then they think, well, geez, I got so much attention. Maybe I need to get the smartest kid in grade 6 award and the smartest kid in grade 7 award. So you don't have to be abused to be impacted from your past and have it negatively affect you. I met a girl that got smartest kid in grade 5, and she said she didn't enjoy her high school, she didn't enjoy university because she felt she needed to continue to get the smartest kid award, and it came from loving, caring parents that thought that they were doing the right thing. But she was getting love and acceptance by being the smartest kid, not for who she was. But the parents weren't beating her, abusing her. But here's the thing. We have children, and this breaks my heart. We have children that are finding drugs. We have children that are trying to calm, they're trying to numb the voice in their head that says they're not enough, that they're no good, and they're this, and they were abused, or they were hurt, they were abandoned, and they somehow believe they have no value, and they want to take drugs, they want to do things to silence the voice in their head. And these poor people are walking our planet struggling and suffering with such great potential. And then those, you know, you look at people that are homeless. You see those people. They didn't start out in school saying, "Hey, you know, when I grow up, I'm going to be homeless." They didn't. That didn't happen. And there are people that are told something, or they're given that look of, you know what, you have no value.
Yeah.
You don't fit in.
Yeah.
You don't belong.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that don't feel like they belong, Pat. And they're trying to belong, and we're crying like a baby in a crib is crying for attention, crying for a sense of feeling like they belong. And that's one of the things we do at the school too, is we give you that sense you belong, so that you can learn, so that you can let go, and so you can accept what is, so that you can create what it is you want in life. And we don't look at the school around fixing, because fixing is an illusion. We work from a standpoint of creation. If you look at nature, nature creates. Nature doesn't fix anything. We're not good fixers. We can't fix, but we can create, Pat. And that's what I wanted to start with, was for the listeners to understand that if you just consider that if you look around at nature, the past does affect the present, which then impacts the future. So how much longer are you going to deal with this? How much longer are you going to put up with it until you say, what is it that I believe at the core of who I am? Do I believe I don't belong? Do I believe I'm not enough? If so, I want to look at it, I want to uncover it, and I want to dissolve it.
I love it. We're going to take a short break, everyone. Mark Rayner joining me here today. When we come back, we're going to talk about self-actualization, and what is it, and what is self-actualized life coaching as well. You know, many of us have heard that term, but what does it really come to mean? And how can we start to make changes, start to change the script so that we can step into our full nature? Let's take a short break, everyone. We'll be right back with Mark.
I know you're inside, you're feeling so hollow.
Can you keep your lifestyle in retirement? It's a question people often wonder about. Ask Ameriprise financial advisor Jeff Packman about the new Confident Retirement Approach. You and Jeff can break down retirement planning step by step to get the real answers you need. In fact, 93% of clients who have had the Confident Retirement Approach conversation feel more confident about their retirement. Call Jeff Packman, financial advisor, at 425-453-0272. for your confident retirement conversation today. Offices located at 601 108th Avenue Northeast, Suite 1800, Bellevue, Washington, 98004. Percentage based on Ameriprise Financial Confident Retirement Client Survey as of December 2013. The Confident Retirement Approach is not a guarantee of future financial results. Investment and advisory products and services are made available through Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
This is Peggy Snow, practitioner at Stellar Reflections, with a Stellar Reflections Minute. So many people these days are trying to find ways to relieve their stress. What happens to our breathing when we're feeling overwhelmed and stress? When we tune in, we realize that we're either holding our breath or taking very shallow breath to signal the body that all is well, which most of the time it is. Sometimes all that is needed is a nice, deep breath to break the cycle. First, exhale to get all the stale air out by engaging the abdominal muscles and blowing gently. Next, take a nice full breath in, feeling it fill your body all the way down to your hips. Release fully and enjoy the freedom of movement. Notice how your body feels. Do you feel refreshed? Calmness is only a breath away. This has been a Stellar Reflections Minute. For more information about what we offer at Stellar Reflections, visit us at stellarreflections.com or call 425-999-9836. That's 425-999-9836.
Hey, everybody. It's great to have Mark joining me here today. You know, it is just so wonderful just to see what happens when you sit down and you go through the process of looking at your life, looking at the scripts that are saving you, the conversations you have in your head, and the ones that, you know, you're having that'll get you to where you want to go and the ones that will not. And if you're like me, sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees. And that's why Mark and I love talking about this because, you know, I work with coaches. And why do I work with coaches? Because I have a vision and it is for me to get the help and the training and the mentoring. And I'm so grateful for the mentors I have so that they can help me guide the ship. They're not going to guide it for me. But they're going to help me. They're going to help me when I'm in the here I am. I'm on the water, and I think I'm going east. But guess what? I am going west. And sometimes my own personal compass cannot get me to where I want to go. Mark, please give the website again because we're going to be talking about the program a little bit here as well, and how the program helps folks actually get in touch with what's going on in their minds and in their hearts. But please, again, let's give out the website.
Oh, right. Love to. It's www.Rayner, R-A-Y-N-E-R, Institute, INSITUTE.com. And on that site, there's a lot of information. There's videos. We have a video reel, a couple interviews with you and I on there.
Yeah.
Lots of great information for people for free.
Yeah. I want to talk with you a little bit about this and about the information you have, but more importantly, about what people are learning. Before the break, I talked about self-actualized life and self-actualized life coaching. And that is really, you know, that is really what you're helping people with. And it's a really important term to understand because this is why, you know, the coaching platform that you created has gone right to the top, you know, 0 to 120. Because you're helping people with something so important. And I would love for you to talk about a self-actualized life and coaching around that and how that helps people to create a new script.
Love to. The big thing that we have in the school is we want the students to do the work before they go out into the world to teach the work. And so they learn self-actualization. And if I could simplify self-actualization, is it's really what do we when we feel safe, we're self-actualized. We have capacity. We're not worried about feeding ourselves or having shelter or dealing with relationships because we're what we call as okay. And in the model is a tetrahedron, which is four congruent triangles. And congruent is a big word in our school because we work with what do you value and what are your actions. And so are your values congruent with your actions? So let's say somebody values a close family relationship, but they don't call their siblings. Well, their actions are showing that they don't value or there's something not safe about it. So one of the things that we do is we take a look. We don't fight nature. We just say, okay, here's how you're wired. Here's how you work. When you're okay, you're more creative. You're more loving. You're more caring. You're less on guard. You're more accepting. You're more encouraging. You're more capable and able to accept what is. Now, if somebody's clearly not okay, Pat, and then you say, okay, we want you to forgive this other person, chances of that happening are probably 0. And you are okay and you're really in a self-actualized place, the chances of you forgiving somebody is 100%. And then you also, you dip to another level, and we call these levels, and you go down another level to the depths of realizing there's really nothing to forgive. And when you understand that, when you can get to a place in your life when there's nothing to forgive because I'm okay, and the reason I need to forgive is because I'm not okay, and what you did hurt me, well, then that means I'm not okay. And when a person really understands they're okay, they look at others as okay, and they look at things as okay. And so we have a saying is, I'm okay, you're okay, and it's okay. There are a lot of people that run their lives from saying, that over there is not okay, therefore I'm not okay. And we have them look at it from another perspective. What about you first? Are you okay? Because if the world can rock our boat, can knock us off course at the blink of an eye, then life is going to be hard. And so we want people to get a good rooting and a good basis and a good direction and understanding why they favor this and not that. And we have a question where they ask and they say, well, I wonder why. So we have homework they do, and they say, okay, so I want you to go out this week and say, I wonder why I like this and I don't like that, and why do stop signs bother me, or why do I enjoy this person and that person? I wonder why. And just get to know yourself. And this is increasing your level of awareness. When you do that, it makes so much else available for you. I wonder why I do this. I wonder why I don't like this. I wonder why I do that. And it's self-discovery. And then you can start to understand that what you're doing is in an effort to keep yourself safe so you'll survive. And reality is there's probably 8 or 9 people out of 10 in our world, first world, second, third world countries, that don't feel safe. Now, if you were to look at Greece, there's not many people in Greece that feel safe right now. Right? So if you said to yourself, right now I'm okay, I'm not sure about the future, but right now I'm okay, and we teach this class on that. And what it's doing is giving the neurons of the brain an opportunity to rewire themselves. Because you give yourself just that blink of, I'm okay. And a lot of times people say, well, what if this happens and I won't be okay, and what if this, and they get into this worry thing. And they're really good. They're really good at worrying and understanding that they need to be either in a dominant role or a submissive role to survive. And they oversee, they miss self-actualization. And self-actualization is a beautiful place to live. It really is. I think in self-actualized, Pat, you're authentic. Yeah. You're a very authentic person when you say no thanks and yes please and no I'm good. No, I'd like that and no I wouldn't. And you're able to ask for what you want. But it doesn't mean you're a pushover. It means you're self-actualizing, you're comfortable in your skin, and you're okay and you're safe to ask for what you want in life.
I love that, Mark, because one of the things you're bringing up is very, very important. I think it's one of the greatest misconceptions we have. And it's the misconception when we talk about, and I'm just going to throw it out here for a minute, when we talk about the divine feminine emerging in life, we're not talking about just women. We're talking about the energy, because we need both. You know, I look back at my life, Mark, and I think you've talked about something so important. I look back at my life, and if it wasn't for the masculine side of who I was, I probably wouldn't be alive today. I probably wouldn't. But then again, if it wasn't for the feminine side of who I am as well, I probably wouldn't be able to do the kind of things that I'm doing in the world today. And so what I hear you saying, and I'd love to talk more when we come back, is, what I've heard you say so beautifully about what you do is you help us discover the best of both sides, but not just discover them, but know when to pull this one from the toolkit and then this one, all in the spirit of a level of wisdom that is so innate and intuitive to us. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, Mark's going to talk with us about what this is all about. Why? Why is it that we want to have life-changing experiences for ourselves and then be in service of others? And how does leadership emerge in the world that we live in? Doesn't matter what you do for a living, where you are in life. We are all leaders. When we come back, we'll be talking with Mark about that. But go to www.Rayner, Rayner Institute.com, or go to the drpatshow.com or transformationtalkradio.com. Just type in the word Rayner and you'll get a lot of information as well. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back with my very special guest, my friend, my colleague, Mark Rayner.
Days like this, I want to drive away. Pack my bags and watch your shadow fade. You tune me up and spin me out.
Chris Stanis is a spiritual leader and healer and teaches a course on how you can transform your life through a meditation and healing system that will manifest your spirit's dreams. She manifested the Women of Wisdom Conference, the Women of Wisdom book, and this radio show. And she can show you how to change your life too. Are you ready? Visit the website and contact her at voicesofwomentoday.com. That's voicesofwomentoday.com.
Are you feeling broken from your relationships? Are you second-guessing yourself about friends, family, and lovers? Tune into the hit show that's creating a buzz in the love-seeking community. Love Seeker Radio, finding love for your authentic self with renowned love coach Heather Lynn. Tired of dissatisfying relationships? Kiss them goodbye and power up your love seeker energy. Coach Heather Lynn reminds you that you can just be you, the beautiful and perfect you. Visit heatherlynncoaching.com to learn more.
We Carry the Light with host Dr. Susan Allison is the show that inspires you to find the light within and shine your light in the world. You'll hear from guests who model how to be the highest, brightest, most evolved, fulfilled, and conscious humans possible. Tune in each Thursday, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern on TransformationTalkRadio.com and let Dr. Susan help you discover that you carry the unique light that only you can shine.
Tune in to the hit show, Get Into It, Winning at the Game of Life with intuitive energy healer and medium Lynn Brown on Transformation Talk Radio. Get ready to bring the magic of soul into every aspect of your life. Learn how to use spirit tools and experience the immediate connection with yourself as a spiritual being with natural spiritual abilities as you are guided on the pathway to success and joy. Visit ruintuit.com. That's the letter R, the letter U, intuit.com, and get into it now.
Welcome to Smile Big, nominee of Seattle's Top Dentist Awards. Here at Smile Big, we offer restorative, cosmetic, and preventative dentistry. Some of our regular dental services include tooth-colored fillings, crowns, bridges, implants, bleaching, cosmetic bonding, and complete smile restoration. Dr. James Rosenwald and Dr. Susan Abdiner won't be smiling until you are smiling. Call now to schedule a visit with Seattle's top dentists. Our number is 425-454-4040. You can even visit our website at smilebig.com.
Called the Oprah of radio by her listeners, award-winning host Dr. Pat Baccili is blowing the doors off of traditional talk radio. Get ready for an energizing delivery and powerful interviews with leaders in the field of human potential. Dr. Pat's fresh, new perspective on living life full out has catapulted her show to the top of talk radio. Tune in and Dr. Pat will help you thrive instead of merely survive. Visit thedrpatshow.com. That's THEDRPatshow.com for listening times in your area.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. As I said before, if you want to find out more about this, top coach program, fully accredited, teaching in over 5 continents now and in major centers, go to raynerinstitute.com. And the reason I love to talk about what Mark is doing is because it wasn't too long ago that he and I were having conversations about what he wanted to do. And so this is not a coaching program that's really for people that just want to sit on the sidelines. It's really not. But if you want what Mark has, if you want what he's created, if you want to know how you can soar, I know Benny is playing Katy Perry. If you want to know how to do all of the above and then help others do it, this is a great opportunity to find out more. RaynerInstitute.com. Mark, thank you for today. I know we've got a short segment here, but I did want to talk about life-changing and what you call life-changing training and why this is life-changing. It's not just another coaching class, but people change as a result of this. And I know the people that have worked with you. They are changed. They're different.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yeah, there are people that come to the school and don't trust. They don't trust anyone, and then they start to trust in the school, and then they're able to go out into the world and trust. I have to say that Pat, we don't need, I don't know how I'm going to say this, but I don't think we need any more information. We have Google. We have seminars. I think and this may be overstated or said too many times, but transformation is where we're at now. And so the school is about transforming people's lives, and you can't transform something you don't know exists. And you kind of need to know how you're operating before you can change it. And so knowledge is, understanding processes and systems and concepts, but wisdom is living it. And wisdom is exploring it, and wisdom is trying it on. And we have people, because it's interactive training, they go out into the world on our weeks that we have. So our classes are Mondays and Wednesdays. So from the Thursday to the Monday, there's homework assignments where they have to go into the world and observe, or go into the world and try, and go into the world and really connect with people. When you say, hi, how are you? Really mean it and see what happens. Connect with people. Go to the gas station and look at somebody and say, hi, like you really mean it, and see what happens. And they go into the world and they're like, I had no idea. And their lives change from the standpoint of realizing the impact that they really can have. And there are a lot of people that are living on the sidelines of life. They're not in the game, and the reason why is because the game at some point wasn't safe. And we can't, here's the thing that breaks my heart, Pat, is I didn't grow up in a bubble. We can't raise our kids in a bubble. We can't live in a bubble. So then life's going to be really unfair if there's nothing we can do about the programming or the script we've been given as a child or as an adolescent or as an adult. Even, someone in their 30s and 40s can be programmed one way or another. And so it would be, and this is what I thought of, is it would be a very unfair world if we were programmed and we couldn't change that program, and that we got a lot in life and we had to live out the rest of our days with that story, with that feeling that you don't belong, or that feeling that you're not enough, or you're too this or you're too that, or you're not this and you're not that. And not being able to know what it feels like to feel safe and to stand or to sit or to rest in self-actualized state and know what it feels like to be okay, maybe for the first time in your life. And then what does that make available for you? It makes life available. And that's what I said is living in a place of I'm okay. Now, we can get science in this and brain theory and monkey brain and prefrontal cortex and all of that in this conversation. But if we just said, I'm okay, today, I'm okay. Or even if you could get it to right now, I'm okay. I don't know about the future, but right now, I'm okay. That starts to shift things in the brain. And so this is what we do for our students, is so that they understand what transformational training is about, so that they get excited. They live the teaching. Then they can go into the world and do the same. So it doesn't come from hocus pocus, and it's not like, oh, I've got this theory, you should try it. No, this is real life, honest to goodness. Get your hands back on the controls of your life. You're better than this. And what I wanted to say is there's a chapter in a book I'm writing, and it is, you're better than this.
Mm.
And what I mean from that is two sides, Pat. One side of the coin is you're better than this. You don't need to complain about people. You don't need to put people down. You don't need to criticize people, and you don't need to judge them. You're better than this. The other side of you're better than this is you're better than this. You're better than you're giving yourself credit for. You're really better than this. And understand that. And come to our school, and you'll discover that you really are better than this. And a lot of people want better than this in their life today.
Yeah, they do. And, Mark, I know we've got a couple minutes left, but I want to ask you this question about it. We've gone through a tough bunch of years, which we are really now pretty much ignoring. I'm not saying we should stay stuck on how difficult these past years have been, but there's a part of not recognizing that we have been through some tough times and we're still alive, some of us, to talk about it. And so part of understanding we're better than this, we're also better than the lowest points and the highest points of our past, aren't we?
We are. We are. We really are, because we really don't know what our capabilities really are.
Right.
And we downplay, or we scramble around trying to figure it all out. But if you would just sit still for a moment and listen, and just understand that you're better than this. And when you're complaining about somebody, or you're putting somebody down, or you're criticizing somebody, or you're angry at somebody, or our side is better than your side, or our this is better than your that, you're better than this. And really what you're saying is, I'm not safe. I'm not okay right now. I'm scared.
Right.
Is really what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I love that, because, that level of awareness, what you're talking about, and, let's just bring it back to what you do at the school, is that level of awareness is part of the growing process. It is also, isn't it, Mark, a form of wisdom to have that discovery about ourselves. But what I love about what you do is it's discovery without disgust. And what I mean by that is it's discovery without a judgment of what our past has been like, but a discovery so we know how to change the script, isn't it?
It is. It's not discovery with shame, or discovery with...
Right.
No, there's no discovery with saying, oh, I didn't, and I shouldn't have, and I could have, and
I've been there.
I would have and could have, and...
Right.
Yeah. I have a little snippet. Let's say you're going up the mountain, you're going on a trail hike, and let's say you're with a football team, and you take all the football team up this thing, and you have all the coaches, as you're walking up, you put rocks in the students' backpacks, or the team's backpacks, and the players get to the very top of this hill, and they're exhausted, and they're beat up, and they're tired because their backpacks are full of rocks. You say, okay, now we're going back down. They carry these rocks down the hill, and you're around the campfire, and you say, so how was that? And they go, oh, it was crummy. And why? Because Coach put rocks in my backpack. And, well, what else? Well, I barely made it, and my feet hurt, and I'm sore, and I couldn't do what I wanted, and it didn't work. And they're going on and on and on, and then you look at them and you say, why didn't you take the rocks out of your backpack? And they look at you and go, no, don't tell me that. Yeah. See, the rules of the game are, no one's telling you you cannot take the rocks out of your backpack. No one's saying that, Pat.
I know.
People will put rocks in our backpack. That's a given. But no one's saying we can't. And we show you how to take the rocks out of your backpack in the school so you can go out into the world and show others how they can do that as well.
I love it. Mark, thank you so much for today. For those of you out there who want to find out more, if you've missed any part of this show or previous conversations Mark and I have had, go to RaynerInstitute.com. We're going to take a short break, everyone. We'll be right back.